What a privilege to be with you today. I've been asked by many people after I stopped training beginners or children in playing guitar, will you please help us to play the guitar? Actually, guitar is an easy instrument to play, and which is very nice. It's very versatile. It's a lightweight. You can travel with it and you can play it just about anywhere. So today I'm going to teach you a few of the basic principles of how to play the guitar. Before we start, I would love to show you about the structure of the guitar. If you would imagine that this is a person, then this is the head, this is the neck, and this is the body, with this the waist. Does it look like a person? Yes, you just need two eyes over there. So the head, the neck, the waist. This is sort of the bridge or the shoe or the heel that connects this guitar to the neck. Although this is the neck, that part extended is the fretboard. This is called the fingerboard or the fretboard. From there, I think there are 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you're only at the neck, 13, 14, 15. Quite a lot of metal pieces over there, which we call frets. These are position marks that shows you this is the fifth, between the fifth and the sixth fret. So if this is the head, the neck, the body, this is called the rib. The side is called the rib. This is the sounding board. That's the sound hole. The sound resonates inside. The sound that you make with a guitar string resonates inside and brings forth a bigger and stronger sound than the one that you put inside. These are called the tuning pegs. So with this you tune the guitar strings. These are called the strings. So this is called a stringed instrument. You get many types of instrument. This is a stringed instrument. There are actually two types of guitars. The one is the nylon string guitar. The other one is a steel string guitar. That is with an acoustic guitar. So you get an acoustic guitar and you get an electrical guitar. This is an acoustic steel string guitar, and you can play it without any extended music. But if you see like a little hole at the bottom and you see like there's a pickup inside, I can see there's a pickup inside. Sometimes it shows on the border or on the side of the guitar. That means you can play it through an amplifier. It's just by selecting a guitar, you should know what you want. For beginners, I sometimes prefer to have a nylon string guitar. Especially for children, it's easy for their hands, it doesn't get hurt so much. But a lot of the people play without the right technique. So because you don't have the right technique, you think your fingers are hurting, but they're actually not hurting if you play the right technique. We're going to start today by naming the strings. This is a 6 string. You get a 10 string and you get a 12 string. 12 strings have 2 strings on each of these 6. 10 string, you have the 6 strings plus the 4 strings of a bass guitar as well. So this is an ordinary 6 string guitar. I'm going to number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say again. 1, the 1, that's the thinnest for me now at the bottom of my guitar, is number 1, and the name for number 1 is E. The name for number 2 is B. The name for number 3 is G. The other one is D. The 5th one is A, and the 6th one is E. You can make yourself a rhyme. Every boy goes down and eat. That's just one of the rhymes that you can use. You can make up your own. So it's E, B, G, D, A, E. Can I say again? E, B, G, D, A, E. So if we talk about the highest string, it's the first string, because the thick string there at the bottom is much thicker and it's the lower strings. This is called the nut. That's where everything comes together. This is called a fret. The sound is produced by pressing with your finger of your left hand, then if you're right, on a fret. Means not exactly on the metal, just at the far side of the metal there, and then it produces a sound. So if I do not press anything, we call it an open string. So this is an open string. String number 1 played open, E. If I press on the first fret of string number 1, you hear another sound. That is actually the sound of F. So we will tell you how the strings and the sounds, how you get the names of the sounds, because every next fret is a semitone on the piano. So this is E, then you don't press there at the far side of the fret, you press as close as possible to the fret, moving your hand a little out, and it is, and this is the technique, it is actually a pinching between your thumb and your first finger. And this side of your hand is normally open. You can put a pencil through there, so your hand doesn't touch the rest of the guitar. Many people play like this, they play like this. So the technique is very important, that if you press a guitar, so it will be good for yourself just to try if the guitar is tuned. Just to try, open string, first finger, first fret, second fret, third fret, and fourth fret. So for now, you know the names of the strings, you know which is number 1, which is number 6, which is the names E, B, G, D, A, E. But now you have to tune your own guitar. So this guitar has been tuned. And in the olden days, there was an easy way, because you know that if you do this, if you're on the 5th fret, those two strings are supposed to be the same. Only the 2nd string you test by the 4th fret, and all the others you test by the 5th fret. Then they should be the same sound. So that's a very easy way if you don't have any instrument to tune your guitar with. But most of us have cell phones. So I use the app called Tuner. And if I play the first one, it shows that I'm playing the first one. That's the second one. That's the third one. That's the fourth one. That's the fifth one. That's the sixth one. The tring that you heard is actually saying that this guitar has been tuned, and this gives you an indication whether to tune it up or whether to tune it down. The way you tune up is the first 3 strings. As you see, they are connected to these tuning pins or tuning pegs, and you turn clockwise from where you sit to make them higher, and anti-clockwise. Let me just try. Can you hear that? The sound went up. So if you want it lower, you go down. So in the beginning, you tend to turn it too fast or too far, but in the end you have a very nice hand tuning the pegs exactly on the sound that it should be. So I'm going to tune this back to E, which is actually E4 on the piano. These sounds correlate with the notes on the piano. E, B, G, D, A, E. So the 3 ways is to have a tuner, to have an app on your phone, or to use a piano and just press the notes on the piano correlating this sound. But the piano doesn't tell you whether it's got to go higher or lower. The only place where you get that is on the app that tells you a little bit higher, a little bit lower. If you take, for example, the wrong string and keep on tuning it, you can easily break a string, which is sad, because it's not always easy to get another string. So just be careful that you are sure you're turning the right. So if this one is tuned that way, this one is tuned the opposite way, for higher and for lower. The way you string the guitar can be explained later, but it looks like a fountain. So number 1 goes to the first peg, and it always goes from the inside around out. Number 2 is on the second peg. Number 3 is on the third peg. Number 4, look, there is a fountain, all the strings are going out, is that way around. Number 5 is that way around. Number 6 is that way around. It is not that hard to put new strings on a guitar, but if you use a nylon string, they don't have pegs, the way you mount them at the end of your nylon string is a little more difficult, and a nylon string guitar takes a little bit longer to reach the perfect pitch when you have changed the strings. So if you have your guitar and you know a little bit about how the guitar works and where to press with your finger, you need to know the names of your fingers. Now, when I was younger, I always painted with a Soekie pen either 4 different colors on these 4 fingers, or I wrote on them 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is my left hand. So imagine you don't use this finger because you use it at the back of your guitar. Then this finger is number 1, this finger is number 2, this finger is number 3, and this finger is number 4. So if I ask you to put finger number 1 on string number 1 in fret number 1, it's finger number 1 on string number 1 on fret number 1. And then you press, you pinch between your thumb and you get a sound. If you put your finger too far back, you get that. If you put your finger straight next to the fret, you get a nice clear sound. You don't need a lot of power. You don't put your hand like that. You don't put your hand like this. A very nice natural. But you do use a lot of these muscles, so you need to exercise that. So it is very important which position you use. When you're on a rock star, you can play like this if you want to. You can play like this if you want to. But the moment you put the guitar's head closer to your head, just say hello guitar, it means that it is easier to play the strings. You will notice even that I didn't use my right hand, my right leg, because then my guitar's neck tends to go downwards. I do play like this many times because I can play. But if you start playing, especially if you play classical guitar, you lift your left foot a little bit higher on a little chair, or you sit on the side of a table and you put the waist of your guitar right over your leg, push it nice tight to your body, and then you can lean a little bit forward. Not like that, just lean a little bit forward, but you're going to do a lot on feeling. So now this is string number 1, open, string number 1, fret 1, string number 1, fret 2 with finger 2, fret 3, finger 3, fret 4, finger 4. That's a very nice exercise to do. Open 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, open 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can do this exercise on all of the strings just while you sit and wait for your breakfast, or just while you sit and practice with the guitar. Now we do the same with the second string. So that will exercise your hands and your fingers. There are easy ways to read the chords and to memorize the chords. We are going to teach 2 different chords. They have a specific structure, and it's shown to you on a piece of paper that actually draws this part of the neck of the guitar. So if it's got a little circle and it says number 1, and they put that circle on the 4th string on the 2nd fret, it means you put your first finger there, you put your second finger there, and on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and your 3rd finger on the 2nd string on the 2nd fret. So these 3 go together for the chord of A. Look again. A, your first finger there, your 2nd finger there, your 3rd finger there. So this finger's got a number, but we're not going to use it. And then you play from string 5. If you put your hand too much that side, then you get this. So the whole secret is to pinch it nicely, to put them next to one another. Sometimes, if you look at my finger, I press on the side of the finger, not necessarily on that side. And of course, my nails must be quite short. So you do an A like this on your guitar. All 3 as close as possible to that specific fret on 2nd fret, string 2, 3 and 4. And you play on this side with your thumb from string 5. And it sounds like this. That's That's nice. So you can sing a song. La da 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 da. But that's a very boring song because it seems like it only has one chord. So the moment you use more than one chord, it means the whole secret is to change the chords. Change them as fast as possible. So it's easy to play A. We're going to teach you another chord now. So what you do, you put your first finger, slip it back one, and one string lower on third string. Number 2 is on the 5th string, and number 4 is on the 4th string in fret 2. So just mark, my first finger is in the 1st fret, my 2nd and 3rd fingers are in the 2nd fret, the 1st finger is on the 1st fret, but it's on string number 3. Number 3, number 5, number 4. So as you see it on the paper, as you see it on the paper right in front of you, it's a picture of this. So now this is E. You can play all the strings. That's a chord we call E. But now the secret is not to play E or to play A, but to change them. That's A, that's E, that's A, that's E. That's very difficult to play them, to change them so fast. So an easy way to learn how to change your chords is to play about 4 or 8 beats on the same chord. When you strum with the right hand, it's very easy just to take your thumb and scratch the strings as close as possible to the sound hole. Stretch your strings, and then you can use your first index finger as well. Just remember, because you have a nail, this one might sound louder. So you've got to scratch and scratch and scratch and scratch and scratch and you saw that secretly I tried to silence it after each chord. So I play A, then I change, but I do rest my hand softly on the strings, not to have this, and some of the sound is still hanging, so I have to quiet the sound before I go to the next chord. So it's A, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you ready to change? 7, 8, and change quickly. Or to E, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, my hand is totally relaxed, nothing like this. Oh, it's very hard. No, it's not that hard. E, and then later on, when you can change them faster, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. And always try and listen to your own sound, rather to get a clear sound. So if you change and it goes like that, that means there is something. Sometimes this finger rests on that string, like that, and you can't hear the strings. So it must be only on that string and no other string. So now we can play a song. If you can strum a little bit with your right hand in a 4-beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There's a very easy song that says, rejoice in the Lord always and again. Oh, that's wrong. So that's where it changes to the 2nd chord. Rejoice in the Lord always and again I say rejoice. Oh, I should have changed again. So it's A and E. Normally we write out the song, and all the chords you get on the computer or on Google, they have already given you the right name of the chord. G, A, A minor, C, C7, C sharp, C augmented, and then you know which chord to play on your guitar. So if you write out the song, it would be the words, and it would start with an A, saying, rejoice in the Lord always, and there will be an E at the next word, and again I say, and again an A, rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always and again I say rejoice, 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 and again I say rejoice, 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 and again I say rejoice. So if this week you can just practice these two chords in A, and then you use the chord E with that one. Easy to change them, easy to change them, easy to change them. Test yourself if you know the structure of the guitar. Test yourself if you know the names of the strings from the thin one to the thick one. Test yourself if you know the numbers of your fingers, and test yourself if you can tune the guitar correctly. And then the last test yourself if you are faithful to play every day for 5 minutes, practicing A, change to E, change to A, change to E. There are quite a few songs that you use A and E for. Until we see again, this was your first guitar lesson.